Joining us now from Capitol Hill, the New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez. He's the top Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Senator Menendez, thanks so much for joining us. Let me quickly get your reaction. What do you think of the president's announcement that he's scrapping, at least for now, the Singapore summit with Kim Jong-un?
Well, as I said at the hearing with Secretary Pompeo, the art of diplomacy is a lot harder than the art of the deal, and we shouldn't be surprised at North Korea's actions. We've been down this road through 3 different administrations. But what this is a failure of the Trump administration's approach, its impulsive actions. The only way that you agree to a summit like this is with very significant preparation, where at significant but lower levels there is negotiations going on about all the key elements. And I went through what we want from North Korea with Secretary Pompeo today at the hearing. What does denuclearization mean? How about the total elimination of their ability to ultimately enrich uranium? How about their ability to not have ballistic missiles? And the whole list. And those questions were the questions that should have been negotiated to come to a decision as to whether or not a actual deal was reachable and what would be the give and take. That clearly wasn't done here. And I think what the president did is use the remarks by the North Korean official to ultimately cancel a summit that he saw was not prepared for and would not have ultimately realized the results he wanted. And that's the challenge that I raised long ago when this was first announced, my concerns, and they have come to fruition.
The Secretary of State who testified before your panel today, he was in Pyongyang twice, once as Secretary of State, once as the CIA director, and he had 2 meetings, separate meetings, lengthy meetings with Kim Jong-un. Don't you think he went through a lot of those issues face-to-face with the top North Korean leader?
Well, he said in his testimony that his total time with Kim Jong-un was about 3 hours, of which I know a fair amount of time was about talking about the hostages, which I applaud the success of getting them out. But that's breaking the ice with Kim Jong-un, testing his readiness to come to the agreements of full denuclearization, of dismantling and ultimately shipping out of the country his nuclear program, of all of the elements of ballistic missiles, of not being able to ultimately shoot into space some of the missiles he's been shooting, and all of the rest that's associated, chemical, biological weapons. That certainly could not have been done in the course of 3 hours. Those are meticulous, painstaking negotiations in which you test the proposition of your opponent to understand whether or not they're truly really willing to do so, and under what conditions, and for what in return. That clearly was not established here.
Do you have any reason to believe, Senator, that the U.S. made this announcement, a very quick announcement, only a few hours after the president, in a taped interview with Fox News yesterday afternoon, thought the meeting was going to go ahead, and all of a sudden this morning the meeting is canceled? Do you have any reason to suspect that the North Koreans were themselves about to cancel the Singapore summit, and the president decided, before the North Koreans make the announcement, let him make the announcement?
Wolf, I don't have any knowledge of that, and I haven't been briefed on whether or not that was the possibility. Secretary Pompeo didn't allude to any such impending decisions by the North Koreans, and so I wouldn't know. But look, the point is, you don't get to this stage if you don't have the appropriate preparation. That preparation would have tested whether or not you should have set a date, where you should have set a location, and I just think that the failure to do so is that what we're seeing going on right now. The failure to do so is why we are not going forward with a summit. Number one, North Korea may have some complicity in the failure to have a summit. I don't deny that possibility, but it's our failure to test the proposition in the appropriate way to come to the conclusion as to whether a summit, and the international recognition that has already been given to Kim Jong-un as a result of the president willing to meet with him, it was something that should have been given to him, something he's desired. So I'm more worried about that we failed to do the appropriate testing of whether or not a summit should have taken place and the possibility of its success.
Yeah, I raised the question in part because in recent days, the North Koreans canceled a meeting with South Korean officials, a meeting that had been scheduled. They complained about these U.S.-South Korean military exercises that routinely go on every year. Let me quickly get your reaction to another development at your hearing today. The issue of the president's recent defense of the Chinese telecom company ZTE and how it might be tied to Trump organization interests. It came up and it led to this exchange. Listen to this.
Given that the president refuses to disclose his tax returns, how can you assure the American people that American foreign policy is free of his personal conflicts of interest?
Senator, I find that question bizarre.
You don't want to answer it then.
Senator,
you just want to describe it as bizarre?
Yes, I do. I think that's indicative of my answer, Senator.
Yeah.
I've been incredibly involved in this administration's foreign policy now for some 16 months, and I have seen literally no evidence of what you are
well, that's what I want to
suggesting.
Ask you specifically about.
Exactly.
No, it's not scurrilously.
It is an outrageous suggestion.
My friend,
Senator.
it is not scurrilously. This has been raised by a number of people
yes,
out
sir.
there.
Yes, sir, it has. You want me to tell you who those folks are and what their political interests
I
may
know.
well
It's
be?
fake news. Now,
Senator Udall asking the questions. What's your reaction, Senator?
Well, look, Senator Udall was asking a legitimate question. In the absence of the president divesting of his interests or putting it in a totally blind trust, neither of which he has done, and not disclosing a year and a half after his inauguration what his tax returns are, something I just recently did as I run for re-election to the Senate. The reality is that it's a legitimate question, because for someone who said, you know, let me help American workers, helping ZTE when so many national security questions have been raised about ZTE is pretty extraordinary. And so there are real national security questions here. I know my colleagues in the Intelligence Committee have been briefed. I'm looking forward to a briefing myself. They have raised serious questions. They say it's a really consequential issue. So I think having that type of line of questioning is a result of not having the disclosure of your tax returns, not going ahead and divesting, and not going ahead and putting it into a blind trust. There are concerns. How do you have this dramatic turnaround about your views about, you know, challenging China as it relates to the trade imbalance and helping American workers, and then say you're worried about Chinese workers and ZTE, which is a national security concern?
Senator Menendez, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.